And our final question comes from Chuck in Los Angeles. Chuck asks, I'm scared and just want to put everything in cash where I can earn 4 to 5%. Why not just do that and avoid the headaches and worry and risk?
Chuck, that is a super legitimate question, and we get it more and more with the craziness that's happening in the world. If you want to get more conservative, that is a viable option if it fits in your overall plan. I would caution against emotional reactions and responses, though, right? Are we getting more conservative because of what's going on in Israel? Is that the reason? Because the market hasn't really negatively responded. There's always going to be a reason to not be investing. And yet the market 75% of the time is going higher. That being said, it is legitimate to say, hey, interest rates are higher. I'm a conservative investor. I'd rather lock in some higher rates. And there may be strategies to do that. CDs may be one of them. Longer term bonds may be one of them. Fixed annuities may be one of them. You want to evaluate all your different options, maybe an enhanced yield strategy, all different things to evaluate. But it's important that it doesn't have to be all one or all the other. You don't have to pull everything out and throw it into cash. You could pull a portion, maybe 10%, maybe 25%, maybe 30%, maybe enough to cover your expenses for the next few years for the market to come back. There are other risks to consider. The only risk is not just a declining market. There is other risks to think about. What is the risk of inflation if we stay conservative? What is the risk of inflation? What if I go into a one-year CD and then the economy declines and the rates go back down to 1% again? Now my reinvestment risk is very low. I made 4 or 5% for a year. Now I'm only making 1%. There's a risk there. So there's all kinds of different risks. What if inflation runs hot? Where are things going to go? So it is an option to get more conservative, but it really should be part of an overall picture of where you want to go. Will that conservative strategy still get you what you need from an income perspective? Are there ways that you could reduce your risk, still take on some risk, but maybe squeeze out a better yield? Maybe have something tied to inflation where you could get some increases. It's a bigger question, Chuck, I think you need to evaluate. And where we've seen people get into trouble is they make a knee-jerk response. I'm emotional. I'm scared. This person got elected. That person got elected. I'm going to stay out of the market for the next 5 years. And they miss a huge opportunity in the market. They don't keep up with inflation, and their standard of living might be negatively impacted. So as much as I want to say it's an easy answer, it's just not, Chuck. Got to dig in a little bit further. And maybe the right answer is to take a measured approach, right? Maybe put 10 or 20% more conservative, have a little extra dry powder so you have that comfortability, but also you're not sacrificing your long-term viability of your financial plan.